Okay, so I'm going to edit this out, obviously. Record. Okay, so today I'm going to ask you, what can you measure on a circle?
Circumference.
And I'm going to make a chart. Absolutely. I'm going to start a chart for you. But let's not jump to, that's excellent, Drake, but let's not jump to circumference yet. What's a simpler way of expressing circumference?
Diameter. Pi.
No, what is circumference? You jumped right to the term, which is
Area
great.
of a circle.
It's the area?
Of a circle.
Distance of what?
Around the circle.
Around it, right? So circumference is around it like that. Okay. So we're just going to say, let's see, I need to put my, we're going to measure some objects, some round objects, and we're going to measure around like this. And what you're going to do is individually you're going to go around the room and get you a ruler and some string or yarn. And there's scissors here to cut it. And what you'll do is take your string, get you a decent sized piece because there's some relatively large circles around here in the lab. So to measure, how would I measure around this since I don't have a tape measure?
You hold one side of it,
You want
then
to,
you'll wrap around
Okay.
until the string meets the other end. Then
Okay.
you hold that spot.
Okay.
Then you get the ruler or meter and you see how long it
okay, so I would take them. Now what units would I want to use? Probably centimeters would be the most practical, right? We definitely want to use something from the international system or metric, so I can take this, and it doesn't have to be exact, of course. I mean, it's pretty close, but so what I can do is I can stretch it out like David said there. And so what would you say? How many centimeters? Can you see it? It's right here. It went to right here. How many is it? 37, yes. Okay, I missed the 30. So 37 centimeters. That's the distance around that. Now, what are some other things we can measure on a circular shape like that? So what do we call that? That's a wipes bottle or container. So what are some other things we can measure on circles?
Diameter.
Say it again.
Diameter.
Well, and again, that's the term for it, but what does that mean?
The distance across the circle.
Okay, so you can also, a true circle, you can measure across, well, not even true circle. You can measure across. Drake knew that the term for that is diameter, but for now we're just going to say across because not all of us have known that, so we don't want to jump too far ahead. Now, that's a lot easier to measure, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to have the string, do you?
No.
You can just take this, and you may not be perfect, but it's going to be pretty close. Can you see that? Okay, so 10 what? Okay.
So,
Are there other things you can measure on a circle?
Yeah, the radius.
yeah. Radius was just half the diameter.
Okay, so that would be from there to there, right?
Yeah.
The center point to the edge.
Mhm.
What else can you measure on a
Chord.
circle?
Chord.
Say it again.
Chord.
What is that?
It's
Okay, excellent. Let me ask you this: is a circle and a sphere the same thing?
No.
no.
What's the difference? It's three-dimensional, and so it has volume. Does a circle have volume?
No.
No, it only has what?
Mass.
It only has area, right? And what is area? Can you define that?
The distance.
How much area?
Not really. We kind of said
How much space is
distance is more of a one-dimensional thing, right? It's around it, or it's across it, or a chord, like you said. Area's a little different. How is it different? Space, yeah, it is, but it's not three-dimensional though, is it? It's just two-dimensional. So we're talking about, in this case, imagine your little grids, a little grid of square centimeters, and however many of those little squares would fit in there would be the area, the surface area, or the area of the circle. Okay? We don't want to get too far into that right now because this is really our main concern right here. These are two of the major things we can measure on a circle, around it, and across it in centimeters. Now what I want you to do is each of you get at least one, find at least one round object here in the room and measure around. We'll put the name of the object here and then measure around it in centimeters, then measure across it in centimeters. If you have time to do more than one, you want to, then that's fine, but everybody needs to contribute at least one to the chart. Okay? And if a chart needs to be expanded, then that's fine too. I'd rather not erase Popeye if I can get away with it, but he may have to go. We'll see how it works out.
Need someone to cut some of the red.
And this is, we gotta go scissors. Yeah. Be careful, remember safety. Our main concern here is what?
So is this people.
Well, the whole thing is a cylinder, right? But you can look at one end of it, it's what? So it depends on if you're thinking in 3 dimensions or 2 dimensions. With circles, we're really only concerned with the 2 dimensions. It could be anything in the room that's round, as long as it's circular, pretty close to circular, it'll be good. If you need help, ask me, please.
I got 50 and a half.
50 or 15?
50 and a half.
50 and a half centimeters.
Mhm.
Always say your units on the end also.
That's centimeters.
There you go.
35 centimeters and 15 centimeters across.
My hand up. Everyone doing okay? Anyone need any help? The trash can is, we probably actually, I need to pull that out anyway, but that's a big circle there. Somebody could give us some variety. Girls, try to get us some variety, some fairly small circles and some relatively large ones if you can.
No bishop.
Yes.
No.
Put your data in the data table as you collect it, so you don't forget.
What would this be named for that? For the object?
Coffee can, pop tab can, can.
Big can.
So I call it a fish food can.
35 centimeters.
That's fine.
Big can. Why do you call it big can? Oh, right.
Let's try to get some variety. And what's the biggest circle we have in here? Does anybody see?
I got 50.
globe in there.
Well, that's a sphere, so we have to. We have to think as well. I mean, you could, but it's going to 3 dimensions, and that's kind of why I asked you about sphere.
The biggest circle in here seems like it's the clock.
I did that.
That's the biggest one I can find.
Trash can.
I found the biggest one.
The desk.
So what would we decide is the biggest circle in here?
The clock.
What about the trash can?
Oh, trash can.
Trash can
No
wins.
one's measured it, so I don't know if it's
I got it.
6.
Let's
I
go.
don't think
Let's
that's strength
let's go ahead and pull that out and set that out in the hallway. The sack. Jefferson will get it, and that way we can measure. We get us a big circle to go with ours.
I'll put big
We got on
can.
a small and medium size. Feel free. You know what?
What used to be in here?
Oh, that was Chloe Moses' science fair project with the bubbles that would grow in water.
So,
I forgot what they're called. It's
what used to be
Okay.
inside you?
oh,
It says craft.
I don't know, craft makes so many different things.
Probably there.
You know, that being upper gas to do that.
Did someone pick up that trash and put it in the...
Just set it in the hall. And so, okay, he's got that emptied out now where you can measure the top and
Did
bottom
someone
of
pick
it.
up
if
that
you want
trash around it? I know.
Wow.
You pick it up.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well.
to. Yeah, please, let's do that, Darren. Okay, go ahead and if you've got at least one, that'll be good enough. And we can go ahead and- if anybody wants to expand that chart for us,
I
right,
did it. I take it out.
Anthony or Drake, right the Popeye part, move it over to by my laptop, and then you have a little bit of space there. I don't want to read the Popeye, so.
Oh, it's on the space.
No, because that's a Dr. Farinelli original. Rewrite.
What do you see him?
Rewrite this part right here, and then you can extend your chart. And you can also extend to the left, probably. Yeah. What do we get on? Did somebody get the size of this
Did
one? Okay, excellent. And now we have a better variety. We have kind of like an extreme at both ends, and then some in the middle, and that gives us. Girls, if you want to extend the chart this way, go ahead and do that.
Drink, you want to try it?
And as the girls are getting theirs up there, their data, start looking over the data and start thinking about the numbers. And are there any relationships there? Are there any trends there? What are you picking up on anything?
What's 15? 17. Oh, yeah, but that time. You want me to get a... You want me to move the camera up better? More better?
Well, I hate to move it in the middle of a lesson, but let's go ahead and leave it there. I want to see how this plays out, and
Are we ready? I just want to zoom in.
we're supposed to pretend like it's not there.
Yeah, it was right too.
Oh, I thought it was zoomed as high as far as it would go.
Oh no, it's zoomed out.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, let's if you want to, and then we can all work together right here and kind of figure this out. He did this in about 3 seconds. He was yeah. It's amazing. He's so talented in so many different areas, and he's just one of those people, kind of people. All right. Oh, the girl was still getting theirs up there. Okay. So, has anybody noticed any? Yeah, you can extend it out so that way we'll have more.
Most of them are around 30.
We don't need to do any more measurements in this class. This is one of the smaller classes. But
Where did you get a chest piece that's 35 centimeters around?
do what?
The big chest
None of
piece.
them were bigger around than 50. You want to have some use.
Okay, so those were our extremes from, what was the smallest?
Oh, never mind. 13 centimeters.
Now girls, does that say that the chair seat was 113 centimeters around?
Yeah.
Okay, now look at our, big can. David, that was yours, right?
Yeah.
That's the trash can. Okay, the trash can's down here. All right. I was thinking for a second, the trash can, or the chair seat from the lab was much bigger than the trash can, and that couldn't be, but now I understand.
What are you looking for, Drake?
Huh?
What are you looking for?
Okay, I'm going to give you some specific questions as you're looking at that data to think about. Are there any trends? Are you seeing any relationships up there?